Hello and welcome back to Vietnam. This is, we're visiting a place called the Crazy House. And the lady architect, I believe, received some type of awards for designing this thing. And believe me, it is a bit of a crazy house. They have a number of rooms, not a lot, but a few rooms that you can actually rent out. And I will show you a couple of those a little later. But this complex, this crazy house, consists of a number of different structures, I will say, themes, different structures. One theme is that of a tree in a tree house, and it's like you're inside of the trunk of the tree going up the stairs. And a number of other themes and structures. Anyway, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a tour. A lot of these steps are a little bit steep. Some of them are a bit steep and a bit narrow. So if you had, for instance, they're not wheelchair friendly, put it that way. Or if you have a fear of heights, some of these narrow little walkways may give you cause to be a bit extra careful, put it that way. It is a nice view of the city, Dalat, here in Vietnam. You get a nice view of the city from a couple different vantage points. And they had a number of tour groups in there. It was included in our tour price, so I'm not sure. I don't believe it was too much to enter this place and visit it. And then they had shops where they were selling various types of things, foods and snacks and clothing and souvenirs, all that type of thing. But it wasn't so crowded that it was difficult to move around. There were just a couple places where there were a number of people, so you had to wait just a little bit, but it is relatively quite large of an area, so people can move around and be in one structure while you're investigating another structure. Very interesting, to say the least. It would be an interesting night there. I'm not sure if any parts of this are. I don't want to start a rumor about haunted houses. I certainly don't want to bring that up here. So forget I even mentioned it. In fact, I'm sure it is not completely safe, and there are no issues. Very sturdy structure, it seems. And there's one of the rooms that you can rent out, and I will show you the insides of a couple of those here in a bit. Dalat is in the central highlands of Vietnam, what used to be South Vietnam. About a 2.5 hour drive in our van from Nha Trang. It's about 5,000 feet above sea level, so it is cooler than the lowlands. It was a sunny, warm day when we were up there, but very nice. Bamboo room, you can rent these out. Honeymoon, number 1. That must go up to the stairs, those steps up there. And here's another one. I didn't get the name of it. I think the door was open, so it covered the name there. But interesting. And here's another one. I think they had 6 or more rooms, 5, 6, 7 rooms, something like that, with different themes. The one question I have, and I didn't get answered, is that if you stayed there overnight, are you free to come and go during the day and evening as you wish. I'm sure during the day you are, but in the evening, are you free to leave the facility, or are you locked in after a certain point in time? Not that I would expect to go roaming around in the middle of the night. I just don't often do that kind of thing. I have always been drawn to unconventional type houses, tree houses and dome houses and different types of things. Realtors and neighborhoods don't tend to like them because they claim they generally bring down the property prices. They want everything to certain standards in the U.S. anyway. Not sure about the rest of the world. And here is a view of Dalat from one of those high perches up there, and I've seen it spelled both ways, Dalat and Dalat. The city of Dalat, I think, has about 500,000 people residing there, and a real heavy French architecture presence up there. And I've read that they were pretty much spared much of the Vietnam War until one relatively brief area there, that time period, where the Viet Cong invaded, took over a big part, but it was eventually taken back by the South Vietnamese forces. So you don't see a lot of the damage from the war, is what I understood, what I've read. There are lots of coffee shops in Vietnam, all the places I've been in. Vietnam, I think, is the second largest exporter of coffee after Brazil. And what you get in a lot of these Vietnamese coffee shops is very similar to what you would call a French press, if you know what that is, with coffee. And they take a cup or glass or whatever your coffee will end up in, and they have a little canister, circular canister with perforations in the bottom. And here's a look at the setup. You put your grounds in there, and that little handle there, that sits on top of your coffee and your hot water, and that will drip into your glass or cup. And it's quite thick, it's quite strong, so I've started taking what they call coffee milk or milk coffee, one of the two, and I think they use creamer, and it's sweet. They also have a man-made lake in town, pretty good size. I'm not sure what the fishing is like there, but they have some horse-drawn carriages you can rent out. And interesting town up there in the mountain. We visited Domaine de Marie, which is a Catholic church, and lots of selfies taken there. And what's called the Rooster Church, another Catholic cathedral there in town. And the reason it's called the Rooster Church is because there's a rooster up on top of that cross. Not sure what the purpose of that is. And then the President's Palace, of course. You can't go to Dalat without visiting the President, or the palace there, King's Palace. Pretty nice layout up there. Lots of nice flowers, very relaxing, nice and quiet. While everyone else was taking selfies, I was taking pictures and video around the area. And a number of carriages there. That is the main palace in the background. A little closer look. They asked us to put on little booties that they supplied to go inside so we wouldn't scuff up the floor. And just look around some of the rooms there. Of course, you're not allowed inside the rooms. They did have an area here where people could take pictures with this girl dressed up in traditional palace garb, I guess. And anyways, a bed fit for a king, I guess. And those are the little booties they asked us to wear while we were there. And Loi Ra, something like that, means exit. WC means CR, means toilet. Nam is men, and what is that, me? is women, I guess. We visited the Dalat railway station, and it sounds like, according to some literature, that you can take rides out of here and visit various areas as well. I'm not sure of the details. They had on many vendors trying to sell different types of things, and really cool carvings up there also. I'm not sure of the pricing. But they have one of the signs says fake antique train cars, and Dalat has a huge greenhouse nursery area, and you will see miles and miles, kilometers and kilometers of valleys and hillsides covered with those nurseries and greenhouses. Thank you for watching. Yes, I took that picture. Please like the video, share the video, please subscribe. Safe travels to you all wherever you're at, and we'll see you next time. I will be doing a video soon about what I thought of Vietnam from a visitor, a tourist, and expat perspective. Even though I haven't lived there, I was there about 2 weeks.